In this training video, we're going to discuss workflow and searching for stories. I'll show you the workflow that we use for our newsroom within the Blox CMS. Every beat has a workflow, as well as there's a general assignment workflow, photo, graphics, and outreach workflows. Within those workflows, there are processes. Everything starts as a work in progress, and that's where a reporter would be working on their story or image or whatever asset they are working on at the time. When they're ready for an editor to look at it, they promote it to ready to edit and let their editor know. Their editor sends it through the ICE desk process, and that's how stories get published on the website. Every piece, every asset and piece of a story has to go through the workflow. When you're in Blox CMS, I'm going to show you what that looks like in terms of promoting a story through the workflow. So here's the story I had worked on previously. And my workflow is, so I'm going under Other, and then down here to Workflow. And my workflow is General Assignment, and the process is Work in Progress. So if I've completed my story and I'm ready for it to be edited, then I come here, I click on the arrow with Save and Promote to Ready to Edit. And then I alert my editor that I'm ready to be edited. If you need to make any other changes to your workflow, then it's in this tab. If you, for example, you're on general assignment, but you took a sports story and a sports editor is going to be editing you, you would change it to a sports workflow and then promote it from there. Next, we're going to talk about how you find stories and where they, how to set up a saved search for your particular articles. So the default is to see every asset we've ever published. You'll see that's a pretty large number down in the corner. So there's been some searches set up to help with the process, and then we're going to talk about how you can set up your search to show your articles. You should have a folder down here called Shared by Stevens Eliz. Within that, there's a number of shared folders. What these generally are is for editors to see stories that are in ready to edit or ready to be edited states. So that's generally who's using these searches. But just double clicking one would pull up things that match that search. So you see this is the sports search, and it's showing everything in ready to edit and hold. And it would also include edited stories. It excludes the work in progress stories because reporters work on stories constantly. So we don't want to see those until they're actually ready to be edited. But obviously reporters need to see their own work. So the best option is to set up this save search that I'm going to walk you through. So if you follow along, you'll only have to do this once. So click on, in that same shared folder, click on Reporters, click here. So to do a double click, you get a series of assets. Come down in this author field, hit the search, and type in your last name, click search, select your name, and select user. Then click the search with binoculars again. If you are not working on anything, you haven't saved any assets, then this field would be blank. You then want to save this particular search, so you hit the plus sign, and you can name it whatever you would like for it to be named. Save changes. And so that shows up and it should, for you guys, it will show up in a separate folder. It would say My Saved Searches, and it would be just one in that folder. To make that your default search, select it in the folder and click the star. That means every time you log in, every time you refresh your search, you would start seeing your articles that are in work in progress. If you need to search for something broader, you need to make sure you click the reset button and then address your search terms in the fields below. You can search text or narrow pretty specifically by different criteria. That's all for this training video. Thanks for listening.